Good afternoon and welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. And we are welcoming back on Tia Cole from Creative Collective. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it. It's my favorite purple room.
Yeah, like that. So it's been a while since you've been on here. There's been a lot of programming happening this past year.
Know.
So where do you want to start with that?
So we've had a couple really exciting projects that we've partnered with in Lynn, thanks to some really great organizations. We started, maybe I can start with Final Fridays because those are coming back and I'm really excited. So I know you guys have covered Final Fridays before and they're over at Lynn Museum, often outside at Frederick Douglass Park, which is an amazing space because it's just beautiful with the black drop and the green spaces. But we partnered with Lynn Museum. They produce these amazing Final Friday events and we just did like that media outreach and made sure that there was coverage and photos and videos, and we worked with a lot of local videographers, like you can see Ferns over there, who is, if you have any video work done outside of LCTV, definitely reach out to him. And local creators and makers and musicians and performers to kind of activate that space, create a nice environment. There was multiple different like themes for them, and we had a really good time and are looking forward to doing that again this year too.
So when will they start back up again, like after the winter?
It will, yeah. So usually I believe that that the Lynn Museum starts them around May. I know they already have their list of what the themes are going to be. Janaya Spencer is actually the program manager for it, the project manager. So I love her like young, vibrant like energy that she puts into everything that she does.
Yeah,
so
she's great.
Having her be in charge of like setting up the programming for it is really great, and we're looking forward to seeing what graphics she comes up with this year and really getting that out to the whole areas. Last time we even had like the Mass Tourism Office came and visited one of the vendor market nights where there was like a beer tasting and stuff like that. So looking forward to that again.
You're reaching out again. And the other thing that you did, I think it was the second year it's done it, is Lynn Side Out. That was last summer.
Yeah, Lynn Side Out is, what's cool about it is Mayor Nicholson's office, you know, they really wanted to, when the administration came together after being elected, they said like, we want to make City Hall more accessible because we know that people don't necessarily feel like they can come and approach us, like we're unapproachable. And we know that part of that is being in this gorgeous, big institutional building. So by kind of literally taking it to the streets, the administration has been able to like connect with the residents a lot better. And they ask us to kind of help produce the events. So we utilize a lot of the local talent that we know, all the performers. We reach out to the local businesses to be able to support them. And they all generally are really excited to be able to hop on the stage or sell out continuously with their food because the food always sells out. So it's been really successful. And I think that the thing that impresses me the most is if you're like in the city and you go to city events, you always see the same people all the time, depending on like the type. The Lynn Side Out events were just like so many different like pockets of community came out to come and see what was going on. So it was like giving away free food, there was dancing, there was free produce, there was fans, sunscreen, like all these different resources that the city has that everybody doesn't necessarily know that they have, all being able to be there. And also like, you get to talk to the DPW there in person. Like I remember someone being like, where's my new barrel? I need to get a replacement. Like by all means, go and talk to them. Like that's what they're there for, have those conversations. And it was just a great experience. It's always a lot of fun. And I think it's like a yearly thing. So we'll see, they'll probably do it again this year. And we hope to be able to be there to help make those connections for the city.
Oh, yeah, it's a big event. Like you said, for some reason, people are more approachable when they're outside their office, just kind of hanging out, having fun. You think of them more as just regular people.
It's true. Like, if you're sitting there and you're, like, in line for an egg roll, like, watching, you know, the Dominican Devils came, and they were doing, like, the whip and everything, and it was organized chaos of the best nature, but, like, you can have any kind of conversation in that environment, and people are just so much more approachable when they're not behind a desk or behind a wall, which you tend to be like on opposite sides of things. So when we think about just like physical accessibility to somebody, like that's huge, but I could go on about accessibility forever.
That is one of your main 3 points for the Creative Collective is equity, inclusion, and accessibility. So there you go.
Yeah, so as a collective, we do a lot of events and stuff like that, and we do a lot of marketing. I always try and call it storytelling. I prefer storytelling over marketing because we found that a lot of creators and makers and creatively aligned businesses needed a little extra support. And I think one of my favorite examples is we have 300 businesses in our membership. Oh. One of them is Vamp Fangs. I told you we were going down to this vampire road earlier. So when a company comes in and says, hey, we're going to open a brick and mortar store on Main Street that sells custom vampire fangs, they don't necessarily know exactly where they're going to fit in for business support.
There.
So we tend to have these members that don't necessarily fit. They're into these little boxes. They're mural artists, they're theaters, they're arts organizations like Gala, they're Van Fangs, they're restaurants, like a lot of the ones that we worked with our outdoor dining. So they don't necessarily fit into the box, but they still need support, and they still need access, and they still need connections, and they still need opportunity. So we, as an organization, find things like Inside Out or the Final Fridays as ways to provide opportunity, to tell the story of the people that are doing the work, and just provide the access that you need to really grow and be part of a community.
Speaking a little bit of a niche thing, one thing you tried this past year was a taste of Lynn, and you incorporated a lot of cultural elements into that. I'll let you explain that because you.
Sure. So we're very grateful to work with Lucretia from our arts and culture planner in the city of Lynn, asked to help create a new website for the Downtown Lynn Cultural District, and then promote it, do that storytelling piece. We were asked to gamify it, which was really fun. So this is where my bad pronunciation and my lack of being able to say R's comes in. So I'm going to work really hard on this, okay? So to gamify it, we created what traditionally may be thought in some cultures a bingo card, but we called it a loteria card. A loteria is a game that's played in Mexico. It's actually originated from France. It was brought over. And it's also in South America, really popular. It's really different from the lottery that we think of when we think of like scratch tickets or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like bingo. And so when you went to a different restaurant, you would get like a stamp on your loteria card. And when you filled it, you went to the Final Fridays event, and we pulled names out and you got gift cards from restaurants from around the city, mostly Union Street, because there's a lot of work being done with the restaurants on Union Street lately. So we wanted to kind of uplift and hold them. I think it's really important that as we go through and promote our community, that we're making sure that we support those legacy businesses, those little mom and pop businesses that have been here. By the end of it, like we heard Drew Russo had said, oh, well, I've never been to Antojitos on Union Street, right across from here. And I went, and it was delicious, and I'm so glad I went there, and we'll go back again. So being able to say, hey, there's this awesome little business that we should all be supporting. Like, how do we do that in the best possible way? Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that was all thanks to the city, thanks to Lucretia and the Downtown Lynn Cultural District. I'm really grateful to have been a part of that project.
So you did a lot of really cool projects this past year, and entering into the new year, what did you say like the goals are for the collective coming into this new year?
Always on growth. We always want to support as many people as we can. We have some really great organizations in Lynn that are part of our membership. I just sat down with Galleries at Lynn Arts, and they have some awesome stuff coming up. So if anyone's ever interested in how to be better supported as a creator or a creatively aligned business, definitely reach out to us, and we can help make those connections and help support you through grant opportunities and other things. And we have some work that's coming down the pipe with some other cities on trying to do that placekeeping of downtowns and how to engage the community and the businesses to work together and foster this like place of belonging.
And one last question before I wrap it up. You have 2 different Instagram handles on here, and you explained to me the difference between them, but do you want to clarify for me?
Sure. So we are the Creative Collective, right? So we support businesses and creators. And we do that kind of like business to business communication, like, here's a way to do your marketing properly, or if you want to do your own marketing, or here's someone like Ference that you can hire to do some videography, which is great and super helpful for businesses. Right now, our current marketing campaign is we have an end of year report that we just did. So all of that's being pushed out. You can find that all at Creative Collective MA on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the things. Even Twitter, but we don't use it. But the Creative North Shore is kind of like what we put out there for the people who just like to see the art. So that has all the information of like art classes that you can go to. It has like shows that are coming up. It has auditions that you can check out. It also mostly has like, one of our big things is we really, really believe that to do your job well, our job well, we have to show up. Like, you got to show face to wherever you're going. Like, see him here showing face. But so we do a lot of like live coverage of events. It could be like music in the coffee shop to like markets that have a whole bunch of vendors, like that kind of thing. So you'll find all that really fun, engaging stuff on Creative North Shore, and all like the businessy stuff on Creative Collective MA.
That makes a lot of sense. And you said one day you're coming on here, showing face, telling people about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me.
Great. Of course, anytime. And I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests.